Welcome to Two Mics. My name is Kelvin Moretti. I'm joined today by Dennis Mwiti. Dennis, karibu sana to this episode.
Asante sana.
You're
Charisma.
You're busting my eardrums with your passion. Anyway, today we're going to be discussing self-employment versus employment. We hope you're going to have a good time and you're going to enjoy the episode. Karibuni. Welcome to Two Mics. My name is Kelvin Moretti. Today I'm joined by a very interesting human being. His name is Dennis. Okay, introduce yourself, Dennis.
My name is Dennis Mwiti.
Mm-hmm. Dennis, what do you do?
I'm an engineer.
That is not what I expected. But anyway, so today I'm joined by a very interesting human being. He's the managing director of Netpap Global, and he's a former schoolmate of mine. People are doing much better than I am doing.
Surprise.
And today I wanted us to have a discussion around, entrepreneurship and, starting your own business and the rewards that come with, having your own business as opposed to getting employed. Dennis, kindly introduce yourself and the business that you do.
Well, Netpap is a software as a service company that it's cloud-based, obviously, that is used by internet service providers to manage their computer networks, our telecommunication networks.
We did the same course. Essentially, in college, we took engineering, and some of us decided to go the employment route, and you decided to go in a different route. Explain why, what happened there. Why did you refuse to go the employment way?
I would say it's a matter of subserviency. I had a job, after I left campus, I had a job as a software engineer for a company called Intel. That didn't go very well. 4 months down the line, I just got disinterested. I didn't like being told what to do. If I came up with ideas, they could not be adapted as fast or as much as I would want because they already had their own dream. So me bringing my own dream kind of would draw them from their chartered path. And deep down, I had this restlessness of I had these things I wanted to do, but working for this company, essentially when you are employed as a software engineer, anything you come up with by contract is theirs.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It was in the contract. So, after the disinterest, I decided to go my own way. You see, if you are unemployed, you need to pay bills.
Yeah. That's the entire thing. Yeah.
Yeah, taxes. So, I needed to survive in this rocky jungle. So, I used to do simple applications for different people. Yeah, the tech projects.
Sounds like very little money.
Projects. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it wasn't much. 20,000, 50,000, 100,000.
Okay, that's little money. Okay, interesting.
It would give you some runway, some sort of runway. Mm-hmm. And then on the side, you are on weekends when people are going to Dunda. People have just discovered money and hedonism. You see, most of my circle they were, what can I call them?
Not very sharp, as you.
No, not sharp.
He's very condescending, this guy. Anyway,
smug. But I would say is that they had not explored that kind of lifestyle, and now they're getting this little money that gives them the flexibility of doing those things. So when they are doing that, I was in the house coding the whole weekend. I would say this weekend I'm going to build this module. So right. On Monday, I'm already testing it in a cloud server somewhere. And then slowly, the whole product started coming, forming shape.
I remember actually, because the most interesting thing is that you, from my assessment, have been able to amass some very impressive skills that I'm sure a company like Google or Microsoft would pay you top dollar to, be part of their team.
Right on.
And and I'm sure you've had, you're telling me you've been able to mentor a few people, even my own brother, people that are doing quite well. How does that feel?
My stallions.
Yeah, seeing people that you've mentored and you've coached, taking off and doing so well for themselves, and maybe how does that feel like? Maybe compared to maybe where you are at the moment.
It feels like.
Do you have like kind of a what if?
What if what?
In the sense that,
what if I had maybe followed their path
path of employment?
Yeah, there's always a what if, because mostly when there is no money coming in. But I would say it feels like Jesus and the disciples. Yeah, you see like your offspring doing well, and you can say that is something tangible you have actually contributed to the whole human experience. Nonetheless, we are not doing bad. We're doing good for ourselves. And over time, over the span of the last 3 to 4 years, we have been able to onboard very many networks around the country. Yeah. Yeah.
So essentially you're saying you kind of are getting validated. Yes, you're getting the validation for finally, the decision that you did. But I'm sure at the beginning there has to have been some sort of insecurities.
There were many.
Because I remember there's one time I visited you. I was trying to have you do my project, and I went. It was in Zimmerman something. You're living in Zimmerman.
Mirama.
Yeah,
Springs, yeah.
And I'm thinking, goodness, why is this life that you guys have chosen for yourselves?
Yeah, I couldn't see the disapproval on your face.
Yeah, so I'm sure there have to have been some sort of insecurities at the beginning. How was that like?
It was terrible because you couldn't pay rent or timely. Sometimes the caretaker would give you the padlock to stay with it. So on 5th, you just lock it and go look for money, or whatever you do, just go find money. And then when you come back, when you get the money and pay, he gives you the key. You unlock, and then you leave the padlock there because next month is still uncertain. So the uncertainty of that was really not very easy. But over time, I had this brand that was really good in what I did, and over time, my name started getting known, and the kind of capabilities. So I remember the first customer for Netpap. They purchased the license for 60,000 shillings back then. But then as Nairobi is, there's always 3 or 4 interested parties between you and the buyer. You understand?
Yeah.
So at that time, I didn't know about product pricing very well, product segmentation and that kind of thing. So I remember I made half the money. I took home just the rent. I was working on it for a whole month because it was a proof of concept when I had finished all the modules, SMS, billing, bandwidth control, that kind of thing. So I deployed it in Tasia, Transami in Embakasi.
Yeah.
So there's a landlord who wanted to have Wi-Fi within and outside. So I deployed a whole on-premise software, and then they paid 60,000 shillings.
You almost cried. You're so excited.
Not cried because I implemented it for a whole month.
Oh yeah,
because
that's nothing.
Yeah, at that time, people did not understand about interlinking between M-Pesa and a software. That was 4 or 5 years ago. Not very many people had that kind of capability, unlike today. And my friends, I remember my friends used to ask me, are you sure you are working? Ama unaenda industry area kuzunguka tu alafu jioni you come back. But by the whole thing, even the wife to the landowner at that time asked, are you sure this thing is going to work? Because I've never seen it before. But I knew it was working because in my mind I could see all the moving parts, how they were interlinking.
The vision was there.
Yes, not the vision, but really how the whole processes would communicate with each other. So I deployed the solution. It worked so well. They were impressed, and they paid. They paid to the broker, of course. The broker gave me what I had quoted. And unfortunately, you realize that some of the cost of deployment I had not marked up.
Factored, not factored in.
Yes. So they ate into my profit.
Bottom line.
Yes. It was I learned that lesson. It was a painful lesson. So I went home as usual, went for the keys. I paid rent, then went for the keys, opened my house, and started working on a new better version of what I'd already deployed. So
question, would you recommend employment or business? Because I remember at the beginning you were very pro, Kelvin, you should start your business, you shouldn't be wasting your brains working for the man, so you should start your own business. Is that a position you still have, and what do you think?
Employment is extremely important. I cannot fail to emphasize on that, because with employment you are learning different. Leave the old networks things for, your employers' networks. Leave that aside, yeah? But there are things like pricing, and you get to understand about pricing, about product development, project management. You also get to understand things on policy and compliance, especially with the government. You do realize the environment for business they're quite different. There are those that are heavily regulated, and others anything goes. So there are those elements, marketing and branding, those nuances you say. So I would really encourage employment, so that you understand the market very well. We did not understand the market very well. We did not also understand about financing, all those things. It was just a guy with a laptop and a dream. See, so employment is really, really important. The unfortunate thing is when somebody gets employed and they're paid really well, at that age, they start experimenting with life. Women and
miadarati. Why are you pointing at me? Why? Okay. I don't understand why you're pointing at me. First of all, I'm a poor man. But anyway.
But you are very rich.
Sorry for another day. But now the thing
with smiles.
So now, you see, at the end of the day, one thing I've come to appreciate in the process of an entrepreneur is the importance of discipline. And one thing that employment does is that it exposes you to an environment where you are kind of expected to be disciplined. You're expected to, you get to value, discipline essentially. You having not been very, exposed to employment in a big way, how was that like for you? Because discipline is very important in an entrepreneur. And how important has it been for you, having to set your own targets, having to boss yourself around, so to speak?
With discipline comes first of all, you're able to stick on what you are building, because with discipline it brings about the whole issue of consistency, and consistency is very important in business. Understand? Yeah.
Oh, that was quick. I thought you'd go. So you're saying, life just pushes you towards discipline.
There is no path. There's no defined path.
Because I can imagine. I think one of the things I've seen also some people telling me in their journeys is that they noticed very quickly that you don't get disciplined, you won't make rent. You see, for me, as an employee of someone, even if I just go and sit in the office, I just sit there and just tweet. At the end of the month, which is actually how many days from now? In the next 14 days, I should be getting, a notification that money has landed in my account. But now when you're an entrepreneur, it's a whole different thing.
Yeah.
You have to make yourself work. Are there times when you've been so exposed that you almost quit and you went back to employment? Are there moments that you've considered that enough of this?
There was a time money was not coming in. The leads that were coming were not converting into actual sales. So I even considered working on a job that was far from what I was doing, so that I get
OnlyFans or something.
I think I considered being a bank teller.
Is that really?
But it was foolish then. Nonetheless, I got contracted to build a microfinance software for a friend of mine. That we would say was a form of employment. So that eliminated the whole issue of getting a mainstream employment that would lock me up.
So essentially, for me, as you know, Dennis, I have tried my hand in business. I tried gentle stems. In goodness, I got bored so quickly when the things were not moving. Like, I'm posting these things online. Guys, they are so beautiful. The response is like, Kevin, next month I will buy. And I try following up in like total silence. It really frustrated me, and I was thinking to myself, I cannot do this. It's definitely not something I would want to do. So how do you make sure that you're consistent? How do you make sure that you keep at it even when you're getting frustrated? Because I'm sure it's not a smooth sailing journey.
I think you are so intent on getting the money.
Yes, that's what businesses are, Dennis. I don't know what you think.
But then, Moretti, you do realize that markets are very different. Yeah, you have to realize the markets are very different. And then, before you see, if you're targeting just your friends, that is a very small segment of the market.
But they should support me.
No, nobody wants to spend money. Nobody just wants to spend money.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Mm. So if you have 100, how many friends do you have? 3,000?
No, I only have like 3 or 4 friends. The others are just high buys.
Ouch.
No, guys. No. No, meaningful interactions. Let's say have very meaningful interactions.
Then there's that serviceable market of that tiny market. So if you have 100
poor friends,
I have 100 friends, then the serviceable market is 10 people, and then maybe 2 or 3 can afford those goods of.
Oh, they're interested in those things.
It's a premium. So that leaves you with just 2 people who can buy.
And they did not buy. That's my question. so anyway,
Kibisu, why did you not buy?
Kibisu, I'm very disappointed in you. Kibisu and Mogambi.
Yes.
Anyway,
now, then you need not to expand. Now you need to expand the market size so that
this pool is larger.
Marketing to a wider pool so that the serviceable market is also expands too.
So you're saying my problem is that I was just posting on my WhatsApp.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
So that is where now the time factor comes in, where you find people launch a product in 4 years ago, but it starts selling maybe 3 years down. So how many people are that patient to wait for their baby to grow to that? So, people just give up on the 6th month. They say they have rent, they have kids.
And kwanza me, I don't think I was at it for even like 2 months, honestly. I think I posted like 5 times. I was like, you know what? And then, and the weirdest thing is that, where the people that were going to supply me have to pass through there when I'm going for lunch. It's so embarrassing. Like, they just look at me, they just think this failure in a suit.
I'm sure they said that.
I think the other thing you should consider is, like he said, something you're willing to suffer for. there are things that if today I'm not paying you anything, you're happy doing it. So you'll always be enthusiastic about that, even if money isn't coming at that point, a particular point. Especially for a guy like you who's working, find an alternative passion that maybe you're considering going into that you love doing, and it's not necessarily because at that moment you want to make money. It's just a passion that even if you put money into it, you're not feeling like I'm wasting money. It's something I'm building up, and eventually it will get to that point where it will start making money. Yeah, so like that one, you completely didn't have passion for. Maybe you just had someone, flowers are selling very well. So you said, I can get into. Yeah, so it's like those guys on Mtumba. Yeah, I'm making millions in Mtumba. Someone goes and buys a bale and it's not moving, and it's like, this isn't
but
working
then, Kevin,
for me.
my argument would be, it's like saying that, mama mboga hapa kwetu kona passion ya nyanya. I don't believe that's the case, or the cow is like he loves that water and soap. I don't believe that's the thing.
No, sai kuna, like he said again, kuna elements za at times life is hard and I want to make sure I'm making rent at the end of the month. Kuna zile jobs I might not particularly like doing, but I'll do cause inanipea pesa that will hold off the guys want rent and all those other bills. But still there's the passionate thing that I'm setting my money aside to start working on, to build on. Hata ukienda kuongeleshwa mama mboga, she has passions and maybe she's saving up to do specific thing. Maybe ujui, they always have something. Like you said, I'm pretty sure atasema passion yake ni machungwa matunda.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's maybe that's the answer I could give.
You see, now the thing with employment is that not employment, that kabiashara is because there's this pressure that we have as the employed folk to have a side hustle. We are always getting told, you can't depend on your salary alone. You need to put your money somewhere. And then I was like, I'm really risk averse. I'm as you might have noticed, I don't take risks. I'm not big on risks. So I don't know. We have this constant pressure to make sure that we have a side hustle, and I think that was my motivation. Like, so that when people mention me somewhere, and they say, I'm ready. Also, he's an engineer. Also, he sell plants. Yeah. So how do you think it's possible for one to be able to do your daily job and also be able to have a side business on the side? And
it's incredibly difficult. Business is hard, very, very, very hard. You see, so you need that desire, that there is some sort of restlessness, that really will push you through those dark times. Now, you see, people have different worldviews. They have different ways they see life, and they are experiencing different experiences. Some have children, others have multiple wives, others
with multiple children. Yes,
with multiple children.
I feel like your diversity of life is based around children and wives.
Yeah, and others have desires like owning property. Others want to invest in ideas. So you see, there are so many reasons people get into business. Nonetheless, it does not mean it's still not difficult. It is very difficult. Genuine, legitimate, legal business, it's hard.
Even illegal, you're always looking out for the police.
Yeah.
But what are some of the challenges then that you have faced in your journey as an entrepreneur?
The biggest was invoicing.
Really? Like, for real?
Yeah.
That's a challenge.
What do you mean when invoicing? I was starting, I was everything. So you just send an invoice to a customer and they take time to pay. So you realize you have a lot of payables out there. So that would put a strain on the revenue for the business. That means you cannot do hiring, or you cannot do marketing effectively. So that was one of the things. So we corrected that by automating invoicing and locking out customers who don't pay. Another challenge was I was doing this alone. It is very difficult. Yeah? It meant that I had to know everything about SaaS, from cloud infrastructure, backups, automation, recovery, writing the actual code, back and front end, the database.
Policy, government policy.
Yes, that. I had to know about taxation, withholding tax, all those kind of elements in business. I had to understand about marketing, lead generation, all those things. Yeah. So as money started coming in, I was able to hire somebody to assist with the accounts management, so that now I concentrate on building the product, and then I would guide her on how to do the lead generation, cold calling, that kind of thing. And then I mentioned I worked for a microfinance. There I learned so much about finance. A lot, from P&Ls, ledger accounts, account statements. There was balance sheet, trail balances, journals, reconciliation, moving money, and how to track transactions. So I met a guy called Edward Mwendo. He's I would say he's a senior developer. He's way a better programmer than I am, and I got a boost. He had this backbone that from that backbone I was able to build a next generation software of Netpap. And we have been able now to bring we have been able to segment our customers appropriately. There are those who do just hotspots. There are those who do home fiber. There are those who do satellite. They sell satellite links. There are those who do all those. So we are able to segment them and also price differently. Yeah. So now the system now has been able to evolve into an ERP for internet service providers. That means we can be able to reach the smallest
and the biggest
customer and even a multinational.
That is very interesting.
Yeah.
And you see, one thing about entrepreneurs is that they can tend to be perfectionists because this is your dream, this is your baby. They can tend to be control freaks. You want to lord over every decision, and really passionate about it, because working late hours is not a problem. Like, I think till this day you work till 2. WhatsApp calls me at 3 a.m. I'm like, how did you think that I would be awake at 3 a.m. in the morning? And you get really frustrated that I sleep at 11.
I think you added 2 hours there. You padded with 2
I don't
hours.
look bad on radio. So how do you transfer this kind of passion? First of all, how do you manage the perfectionistic tendencies, and also how do you transfer this passion to the hires, to the employees?
I'm not a perfectionist. Actually, I cut corners if I have to. There are people who are perfectionists. I'm not one.
Okay,
but I would say there is a dream. There's a painting you want to paint, and there's some sort of restlessness. You want to do that. You can't sleep well at night when there's not
having
been
done it.
So you beat yourself until it's done, and when you've done, now you can rest. So you see, I was employed, but I didn't. There's something I saw. I really wanted to do it, so I did it. So staying up late denying myself, delayed gratification. It was not a problem. Understand?
Yeah.
So the shame of not having being able to pay some bills, or that was a no-brainer, because there was that restlessness to achieve what you wanted to achieve, and within that your heart can settle down.
Okay.
So it was not a problem.
And now what about now, where you see exactly now you're saying you're driven by passion, you're driven by a very strong desire to be successful. So how do you transfer once you've been able to hire, employees? You definitely have to delegate some of that. So that can feel like it's giving up control, right? So I saw somewhere that entrepreneurs, you can never expect your employees to be as passionate as you are about your product, about your business. So how do you deal with that?
I would say they're not passionate, but it can be taught, or
it cannot be taught
or influenced. You see, when a business is small, the key shareholders are the employees, because you have to pay them. That means they will be making more money than you most of the time. You do realize that?
Yeah.
So, because you can decide to go unpaid, or you
plow back the...
Yes. So, with time, you have to be open. When you are small, you have to be open with the employees. They have access maybe to the balance sheet, the trial balances, all that. And then yes, you are right that they don't share the vision. They're there to get money and pay their own bills. But then over time, you realize you are able to give them tasks and then do quality control and checks. For example, you say that you need lead generations. Most people say we need the lead generations, right? But then you can give them a list of people to call, and then on those list of people to call, there have to be a comment of what resulted into.
Yes,
why,
basically work.
What
you're saying is that give them work, and they do the work.
Yeah, and then you step back at quality control. You're able to be able to gauge performance and then give them feedback. Yeah.
So I'm asking. So what you're saying essentially is that in as much as they might not share the vision, at least have very clearly set targets.
Yes, very clear.
That are measurable, and that should be measured.
Yeah, if it can't be measured, don't do it. It should not be done. Yeah.
So now, all that said and done. So you decided not to work for the man. You started your own business. You developed your product, a very strong and quite frankly revolutionary product. You moved the headquarters to Meru for some strange reason, and you've been on this journey for how many years now? For 3 or 4 years.
4 years.
For 4 years now.
Yeah.
So, what are the rewards?
Well, I can pay rent.
Come on, give me more passion. Come on, they can't just be rent. We are trying to inspire people. Okay, damn it. Let me start the question, and then now you answer it properly. So, in the journey that you've gone through, what are the rewards for the sacrifices that you've made?
Well, owning a successful tech company is prestigious. You can say prestige. You have now revenue, consistent revenue. That covers the element side, and then you're able to even dream bigger. Yeah, and then you're able now to influence the market, because we have been able to standardize a lot of networks across the country. I saw the owner of Radio Africa. What is his name? I remember. I forget. I was reading somewhere. He has a very humble car, right? So when he comes in the morning and he sees kina Maina Kageni and kina all these chauffeurs with these Porsche massive cars, he's like, I did that. How is it like when you see your employees doing well? And it is a bit fulfilling. It is a good feeling.
Seeing that you've been able to empower them. And
yes, especially in you see, when we are sourcing when we are sourcing for any maybe merchant, when you want to buy merchandise for Netpap branded things, we just source them locally. Yeah, it's a feeling. You feel you're contributing to the microeconomy, and it's a good feeling. You sleep well at night.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then one last question, a bit political. How comes that a lot of the tech companies in Kenya, the Mshwaris, not Mshwari, Mkopa Solar, the blue chip tech companies are mostly getting funded by they're white guys? Is it that our developers in Kenya are not smart enough, or what's the problem?
First and foremost, we want them more and more. Let them come, as many as they can. Because at the end of the day, there is that deep-seated need to control things. It's an innate animal feeling. Nonetheless, first of all, the white guy, I don't know. I've not interacted with very many white people, but
clearly you're in Meru, Dennis. There are not that many that side.
Let them invest. We shouldn't have that kind of conversation.
No, I'm asking in terms of funding.
Yeah,
because you see that in terms of funding, they will start here and then you see that you think it's a Kenyan startup, and when you look at the management, it's mostly white people.
You see, the Americas, they are kind of funding. First of all, they are wealthy. It's a wealthy nation, right? And if wealthy people are tribal, in short. White people will easily resonate with a white person. I don't see a problem with that.
Okay.
Well, in Kenya, most the wealthy people, they are not very adventurous. They mostly invest in where it's tangible. Yeah, it is tangible. It is difficult. It's not easy to invest in a startup where that technology has not been done before. So that is why they have capital. So when they come to Kenya and maybe there is an
opportunity,
they go for it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, in Kenya, the developers, they have many reasons. Some are looking for security. They get it from employment. Others that start businesses, they get funded. Actually, it's just that most Kenyans don't listen, or they don't hear our stories, because essentially our software is supporting other startups, and they are many. You understand? It's just that you have not had you see, how many startups have you had in the telecom sector?
I'm not
very many. Even when there are these events, startups thing, they talk about health, education, fintech, agriculture, but telecom is it's kind of a black box. But we are there, and we are legend.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay, so
it's just that Kenyans don't. I don't know. Maybe they kill their children when they come of age, or they are not looking, or the media is. You understand the dynamics of media, but we are there, and we are many. And maybe that is an opportunity that maybe small companies, magazines, or they're trying to address.
And podcasts like ours.
Yeah, and podcasts like Two Mics. But over time, things the tables will turn. Okay. And when they do turn, the next generation will arise.
Okay. So now the thing is now, in terms of now the funding, if someone are you open to taking, investment in your business, the seed fundings, or what are they called?
Currently, we are self-funded, and we're able to meet our obligations and growth. But within the next 2 years, we will now be open for investments.
Okay. So not at the moment.
Yeah, right now I wouldn't say it's prudent, because our dream currently, we are trying to enter into the corporate space. So we are not really looking to investment. We are scaling to East Africa and the African region, that is now we can talk about
a bit of funding.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. But you're looking out for Google. They have released. They are releasing companies that are increasing connectivity. I think that would open doors, because Moretti, you can give me maybe 2 million shillings, but that's the end. You understand? Yeah. But when you partner with companies like Google that are known, the run brand, they open certain doors that
my 2 million might not be able to open.
Yes.
I don't have 2 million, but anyway.
You do already.
I do not. Anyway,
this couch is worth.
Okay, guys.
A lot.
Anyway, thank you for joining us, guys. We hope you enjoyed today's episode. If someone wanted to find out your products, and where can they reach you?
www.netpap.co.ke.
Okay.
There's everything you need to understand about Netpap.
So .com was taken. You have to add .co.ke.
Yeah, it's a Kenyan brand.
Okay.
And we are trying to tell our story.
Okay. Anyway, thank you so much, guys, for joining in today's episode. And thank you, Dennis, for coming on set.
Always a pleasure.
We hope you guys had a good time. Kwaherini.